And so right about this time every night, we bring you a very special guest. On the policy tonight, we have Lorraine Shabangu. She's the chairperson of the Advocacy Subcommittee of the Gauteng Geographical Names Committee, GGNC. She's a communications, language, and cultural governance practitioner with experience in media, stakeholder relations, heritage advocacy, and language development. Her work focuses on promoting public awareness of the role geographical names play in preserving South Africa's history, identity, cultural heritage, and public memory. So I want to welcome my special guest tonight, Lorraine. Good evening. How are you doing? Welcome.
Good evening, Tich. How are you doing?
Very well. I hope you're warm. It's really cold. I think it's like 9 degrees tonight.
No, definitely keeping warm. And I think the conversation we're going to have this evening is going to keep us even warmer.
Yes, I can tell you. I can tell you. So we're going to talk about something a lot of people have been wanting to find out and ask. Can you explain what the Gauteng Geographical Names Committee does, and how do you advise government?
So the Gauteng Geographical Names Committee is a statutory advisory body that advises the Gauteng provincial government on matters relating to naming geographical sites. So that's essentially what we do. We facilitate the processes involved in name changes and just raising awareness around geographical naming in Gauteng.
Okay. So you were put together in 1998, right?
That's correct. Through the South African Geographical Names Council Act.
Okay. How does the committee fit into the broader national framework led by SAGNC?
So the SAGNC is the umbrella that governs each province. So as the representative of the Gauteng Geographical Names Committee, each province is represented where the language issues, the geographical naming sites are represented in each province to reflect the different provinces and South Africa.
Now, who decides which road is going to change a name and why?
So with geographical naming, the proposals that come forward about name changes come from communities, municipalities, and any interested stakeholders who have identified a particular public feature that they would like to be either renamed or even corrected spelling for orthography purposes.
Okay. Yeah. So can I wake up and submit a name of a friend and say, this guy has been a really good guy in our community. Can you name this road Teboho Street?
So the application will be evaluated within reason. So what we do is we would then see how much research has been done with the proposed name and weigh in about the weight of that person within the particular community. And public participation would also influence the decision in terms of a particular name change.
So can schools, community members, churches, municipalities put names forward? Is that how it works?
Absolutely. And I think with raising awareness, more and more communities are able to see how much they can contribute towards not just identifying geographical names to be changed, but they can also look into spelling mistakes and the preservation of linguistic diversity within South Africa as well.
Talking about the heritage of South Africa as a country, how do you decide, if an old name, of perhaps a community can be brought back in order for them to recognize that they still are, part of the South African community?
I think with that, it's about reflecting on, how far South Africa has come, the spaces that people come from, and doing enough research about the names that are existing so that they can be better informed.
How does the public participate? Do they, once a name has been identified, do you then announce it publicly so that they can respond?
The public are a very big part of the process of geographical name changes. Once applications have been submitted, we then hold public participation so that the members of the particular community can, be notified, can make their own representations, and also just give some extra information about the proposed names. So the communities and the public are a very critical part in geographical naming.
All right, so in terms of roads, streets, schools, and rivers, they carry different names for different purposes. How do these names contribute to memory and social cohesion in Gauteng communities?
Place names hold history and heritage in them. By involving, having involvement at such a large scale allows for the memories to live longer, and, towards social cohesion and, a really truly reflective democratic South Africa.
What are the most common misconceptions you hear within the public when it comes to naming of streets and roads and dams?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that all we do is change one name to another. But what we do is also, in terms of preservation of names, the preservation of our languages and our culture, is to correct the spelling of certain names. For instance, you would have in Gauteng a name like Togoza, which has been corrected and now has the H in Togoza, the same as Tembisa. And these might seem like small things, but orthographically and in terms of linguistics and culture, the correct spelling is important.
Yeah.
So we do far more than just changing names from one name to another.
How do you balance respecting local history and identity with the need for national building and unity across diverse communities?
I think those are things that work hand in hand, they feed into each other. And looking at, diversity within South Africa, but also being cognizant of the multiplicity of cultures and language diversity in South Africa helps us towards being cognizant and making sure that everyone is represented as much as possible.
So if I'm a resident and I kind of feel disconnected to a name from a street that I belong in, what is the first step I should take to get the names changed?
So we'd encourage the public to engage with their local municipalities where they'll be assisted. They can then get the application form from their municipal office or through the online platform of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. And then there they will be able to fill out the application with all the details that are required.
Yeah, okay. So you're part of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation?
We're an entity of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, but for people then who are not as close to the actual office, the municipal officers will be able to assist them with facilitating the filling in of those application forms.
So how does geographical names connect to culture and recreation under the ministry in everyday life?
So the GGNC reminds us of how place names are an everyday part of who we are. They are not just there for movement in terms of location from one place to another, but they hold history and memory. And with communities coming together, there's shared history, there's shared memory, and that holds the unit together in the processes involved in geographical naming.
Since you've been part of this department, Lorraine, what do you think is the most impactful renaming project you have been part of in the last few years?
I don't think there's an actual project that I could single out, but I think that the work that we do shows how important it is to work towards seeing geographical names of public sites, of rivers and roads that are reflective of names and events that remind us of who we are and how far we've
Yeah.
come, and paying homage to a lot of the people who have made a big difference in our communities.
And so, Lorraine, for listeners who want to learn more and want to participate in the naming of streets in their community, how can they find information about proposals, public meetings, and how this all works? How do they get in touch with you and your department?
The best way is to go on the online platforms of the Gauteng Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, and that is where they will be able to get all the information, including the processes involved in geographical naming.
Thank you so much for having joined us tonight, and we hope you have a fantastic evening, and chat with you soon.
Thank you. Have a good evening to you.
That's my very special guest tonight from the Gauteng Geographical Names Committee. Her name is Lorraine. This is African Diaries.